Welcome in as you look at the downtown skyline of Nashville, Tennessee. We are coming to you live from First Horizon Park. A beautiful day here in downtown Nashville. I'm Chris Yow, Mo Patton, and special guest host today. Welcome in Wade Neely. Wade, thanks for being here, man.
Absolutely. Good to be with you guys. We're just a day away from, if Mother Nature allows, opening day for the Nashville Sounds and a gorgeous backdrop for our show today. Yeah, I'm looking for some.
Awesome.
There we go. I found a piece there. So
something, anything.
but exciting, obviously, with MLB getting cranked up. I'm glad to be with you guys today.
Well, it was a little bit more exciting 35 minutes ago before Max Fried pulled a hammy cover in first base.
Oh, they say he pulled it?
Seems so. So, yeah, but happy opening day to those who observe.
Or not now.
Well,
like
Braves are up 4-1.
We'll take that.
We will take that. Without the benefit of a home run yet.
How about that?
Yeah. They said this team couldn't score without the long ball.
That's what I've heard.
But,
That's what I've heard. But
yeah, it's a great day. It's
really
a fantastic day to be outside.
And Nashville Sounds Media Day is always fun. We were here last year, had a great time, got a chance to talk with Spring Hill resident Ethan Small last year. That was a lot of fun. And this year we're going to get another shot at manager Rick Sweet, this time as manager of the year in minor league baseball after taking the Sounds to an International League regular season championship.
Into the Final Four.
Into the Final Four of the
Not
course,
that one.
Yeah, the other championship tournament.
The AAA championship. Yeah.
They've got a new way of determining a champion this year, so that's going to be fun.
I'm sure they do.
They're just kind of throwing stuff up for AAA. It's like, hey, we'll try this. Why not? And see what happens. So it's working out.
Keep throwing stuff against the wall. Eventually something will stick.
Yeah, no question. So we're going to get a chance to talk to Rick Sweet, and we'll also get JAMAAL Stewart, newly minted Centennial football coach as well. All of that and much more coming your way here in just a few moments. But before we do anything else, Mo, we have a list of scores and today's schedule. We'll get to you that now on the Rundown.
This is the Rundown.
High school baseball results from Wednesday afternoon. Brentwood Academy defeated Father Ryan 7-3. It was Nolensville with a 2-1 win over Columbia Central. Lebanon down Cookville 2-1. It was Beach 6, Gallatin nothing. Hendersonville with a 9-5 win over McGavick. Station Camp blanked Hunters Lane 16-0. Independence wins its series against Summit with a 7-3 win. Montgomery Bell Academy 11, Lipscomb Academy 1. Downers Grove north of Illinois defeated Oakland 2-1. It was Christ Presbyterian Academy 16, Pope Prep 6. Nequa Valley of Illinois 17, Riverdale 3. Stewart's Creek 9, Rockvale 3. Bartlett of Illinois 7, Siegel nothing. Summertown with a 3-0 win over Niles West of Illinois, and Wilson Central Downs Green Hill 4-1.
Softball action. Athens, Alabama blanks Blackman 13-0. It was Blackman 12, West Chicago of Illinois 10. CPA 12-1 winners over John Overton. Columbia Academy down Forest in bracket play down at the Gulf Shores Classic before falling to top seeded Yorkville, Illinois 6-2. Loretto 12-3 winners over Lawrence County, and Mount Pleasant downs Cherokee of Alabama 14-3. Ravenwood was a 7-2 winner over Battleground Academy, and Lake Zurich of Illinois 10-2 over Riverdale. It was Riverdale 8, Willowbrook, Illinois 0, and Fairview blank Santa Fe 23-0, and Lincoln County also blank Spring Hill 15-0.
In girls flag football in Metro Nashville, Hillsboro with a pair of victories, 19-0 over Hillwood, 14-10 over Overton. Overton with a 37-6 win over Hillwood. It was Hunters Lane defeating Whites Creek 13-12 in the only game played at Whites Creek. Hunters Lane and Whites Creek each defeated Maplewood by forfeit. Procon with a 13-6 win over Hume Fogg and with a 34-14 win over Martin Luther King. Hume Fogg defeated Martin Luther King 25-6. Stratford defeated McGavock 21-6. East Nashville defeated Stratford 7-0. I'm sorry, East Nashville defeated McGavock 7-0 and defeated Stratford 25-7. And finally, Antioch with a pair of wins at home, down in Cane Ridge 21-14, Glencliff 21-0, and Cane Ridge with a 35-0 win over Glencliff.
College softball action. Austin Peay 6-4 winners over Murray State on the road. Belmont goes up to Bowling Green, gets the win over Western Kentucky 2-0. Chattanooga 3-1 winners over Lipscomb, and UAB down Tennessee State 6-4. It was Lane College and Cumberland splitting a pair. Lane with the 1-0 win, Cumberland 3-2. UT Southern went to Huntsville and took out Oakwood 11-2 and 17-2. And in NBA action, the Clippers defeated the Grizzlies B team 141-132.
Baseball game scheduled today. Ongoing, a 1 o'clock start for East Robertson at Community. 4 o'clock starts for McGavock at Hillwood and Glencliff at Pearl-Cone. At 4:30, it's Franklin Road Academy at Donaldson Christian, Brentwood Academy at Father Ryan, Montgomery Bell Academy at Lipscomb Academy, Hunters Lane at Maplewood, and East Nashville at Martin Luther King. 5 o'clock starts for Lawrence County at Cascade. Silver Creek, Indiana plays Clarksville. Pope Prep is at Christ Presbyterian Academy. Summertown goes to Forest. Hickman County is at Santa Fe. Westmoreland hosts Macon County. Spring Hill plays Grace Christian at 5 o'clock. I don't know where that is.
I don't
either. Okay. 5:30 starts for Montgomery Central at Stewart's County. Mount Juliet Christian at Trousdale County. At 6, Sycamore is at White House. Giles County, the Bobcats at Collinwood. Page is at Franklin. Columbia Academy is at Knoxville Grace, and Rockvale is at Stewart's Creek.
6:30 action today. Brentwood at Centennial. Fairview hosting Lewis County. Springfield goes to Greenbrier, and Murfreesboro Central takes on Hilton Head, South Carolina at Hilton Head. So, hey, could be worse.
Could be worse.
Win or lose, you're still winners. Murfreesboro
No
Central. Richland is at Mount Pleasant. Wilson Central takes on Glenbard, and Hampshire goes to Zion Christian at 5:30. Guess I missed that one. Sorry. 7 o'clock, Gallatin hosts Friendship Christian. Good Pasture goes to Hendersonville. Middle Tennessee Monarchs are at Lawrence County. Niles West Illinois takes on Station Camp, and Smith County's got Summertown at 7:30. Kettle Moraine, Wisconsin is at Beach. Silver Creek, Indiana is at Blackman. Coffee County hosts Crawfordsville, Indiana. Seymour goes to Middle Tennessee Christian. Oakland's at home against Briarcrest. Oak Park River Forest of Illinois is at Riverdale. Hartselle of Alabama is at Siegel, and Smyrna hosts Tullahoma.
In softball action today, Hunters Lane is at
is your rundown.
The Pingu wins.
I hope they're the team you loses. Well, I mean,
Ba-dum-dum.
hey, you know. Well, top story today. I had one thing written, but as news sometimes does, breaks before our show, and TMZ has released the body cam footage of Todd Downing's DUI arrest from post Green Bay win, the last win of the season for the Titans.
Ages ago.
that was forever ago.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Longer for some of us than others.
Ain't no doubt.
Have you guys seen the video? Did you
I have
happen
not
to watch
seen
it?
the video. It's
Okay, so I'm the only one who's watched it.
TMZ.
Well, it's TMZ, but it's the video, and,
Yeah.
and it's and obviously it's
The video is the video, regardless of who got it.
who's got it, right? So, I mean, obviously, if you guys haven't seen it, it'd be tough to discuss the video. But I will tell you this:
Are we not going to run it?
it's
How long is
10 minutes long.
Oh, then we're not going to run it.
I will tell you this, and this is my opinion, but
You're welcome to it.
I think it's a shaky arrest at best. We know by the time they got back on that Thursday night, it was probably at least midnight, if not later.
Yeah, every bit of midnight.
Mm-hmm.
So they catch him speeding on 65. We talked about that. He said he was going over 100 miles an hour, but he had no speed. He had no way to speed check. He admits that on live. So, yeah, that's it. So there's number one off top. Okay.
Okay, so you're shaky from the start.
He pulls him over and says, "Look, I couldn't clock you, but you were going at least 100." Todd says, "We got word while I was on the plane that I was put on a kill list, and all right." Just want to throw up the title card, Justin. There we go. All right, cool. Can you hear us now? That is the question.
I can hear you.
Well,
Yeah.
we can hear each other. That's,
No, I
that's
mean,
not-
you're coming through my earphones is what I'm saying,
Oh.
because you weren't.
gotcha. But we are now.
Yes.
Fantastic. Okay.
That's why I tapped my earphone, because you weren't coming through at that point.
All right. So where were we? He's obviously nervous.
Sure.
He's speaking slowly, and at that point, THP says, I smell alcohol in your breath. I smell alcohol, a strong odor of alcohol coming from you." So
In quotes.
Yeah. he
Because that's always.
that's
Yeah.
You're going 100, whatever.
Mhm.
So they get him out of the car to ask him to do a field sobriety test. Let's just say that he performs better than average on this field sobriety test, in my opinion,
But worse than perfect.
but worse than perfect, which
Mhm.
means
Which means he's drunk.
clearly. I'm going to tell you, in my opinion, after watching the video, I don't think that Todd Downing was impaired.
I'm going to tell you
That's
that
my opinion. And
I'm going to tell you that field sobriety tests are shaky at best,
they're designed to fail, drunk or not.
particularly after midnight when you begin your day in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and you ended it on I-65 South in Franklin.
And finding out that your family,
Has a police protection at your
Yeah.
home.
And
Yeah.
now they're asking me, already nervous, already scared, to walk, in a straight line, tilt my head back, close my eyes, count to 30.
Yeah, say the alphabet backwards.
He says that the THP says, you've had entirely too much to drink to be able to operate your vehicle. And again, what I saw, entirely too much to drink, is the overstatement of the century. Go watch the video. If you haven't watched the video, go watch it. It's available. I retweeted it at Chris Yow 14. You can go find it there. It is available. And I think it's worth the watch. It's worth the 10 minutes to watch if you care. I mean, but I think after watching it, and they call John Robinson he's on the phone. He's like, "Are you kidding me?" Like all this, and so,
well,
to me, after watching it, I'm not entirely surprised that he wasn't fired. Because listen, he left. We were asking the question.
We
why
talked
would
about
they,
how would he have time to get drunk?
and why would you let him leave if he was?
Right.
Especially knowing that his family's in danger.
Well, I don't know that I guess they did know.
No, they were the
We
ones that
didn't
told
know.
him.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
They did. Everyone on the plane knew that.
Yeah.
It's a shaky arrest. And when I say shaky, I mean, like, if they choose to prosecute it, I'll be surprised.
Well, I will tell you that not every DUI arrest gets prosecuted.
That's that without a doubt.
Yeah. So
anyway, that's where stuff like this is important too. Sometimes you do have to wait for the facts to come out. Obviously, you want to give yourself, you want to talk about it, and you want to give, you want to react to what you have, but it's the Darius Miles situation in Alabama. I mean, now that I know all the facts of the evening, that's another case that if I'm a district attorney, I'm thinking real hard about prosecuting.
I'll tell you what, that one, there's going to be a lot of folks with a lot of egg on their faces if that is the way that plays out. And I think this one is somewhat that way. Again, we talked about how, and we didn't know about the situation with police being at Downing's house at the time, but we talked about how did he have time to get
In that shape.
in that shape? Yes.
Entirely too much.
Entirely too much. Yeah.
I will say,
and then now someone responded to your tweet and said he blew too hot, to which your response was he did not blow.
Well, the person, this is where I saw the video. The guy had quote tweeted it and said, as a former police officer, you don't blow too hot if you've only had
We've never seen what his BAC was.
We haven't. And so after I watched the video, I said, well, he didn't blow. And that's when he was like, okay, fair point. And he probably didn't watch the video. And that's one reason that we have these kinds of conversations. One reason I watched the video was to see what exactly took place. And I thought, my goodness, I don't know. And it's something that we have to pay attention to.
Here's the thing. We have to be aware of and mindful of and sensitive to impaired drivers.
Sure.
We don't have to go out of our way to hem people up. There's got to be a happy medium in there somewhere between.
We just lost the light outside.
between getting folks off the street that don't need to be on the street and harassing people.
So I'll tell you this, and he didn't go as far to say he was Ozuna from the Braves, but
Brace.
but he did say they asked.
He
where-
didn't say, "Do you know who I am?"
No. He did say though, he's like, we just landed. I'm with the Titans, and we just got in from Green Bay, and I guess he was hoping that might help. It probably hurt.
It probably did hurt, unfortunately.
So anyway,
Dude,
again,
we just beat Green Bay 3 hours ago. Come on.
Can you calm down, sir? I mean, it was.
Did you not watch the game? We just went on the road and got a good win.
Just beat Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, again, we talked about the NFL service and that kind of thing. I mean, if he were entirely unable to operate a vehicle, he would have called somebody, right? Or you'd like to think?
I would think so. I mean, he's smarter than that. I mean, he already knew he was, on the edge.
Under intense scrutiny.
Yes. So anyway.
Wow. Interesting.
It is. It certainly is. There's no question there. All right, we need to take a break. We've got JAMAAL Stewart, who is scheduled to join us here on the other side of this break, and we will speak with the newly minted Centennial coach in just a few moments. So stick around here on Main Street Sports. So we'll be back to the Lee Company studio after this. Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net. Custom Stone Handler supplies over 600 distributors and suppliers with quality stone products. Along with River Stone, we produce and distribute over 100 building, landscape, and other bulk products. Our goal is to provide quality products, service, and partnerships to ensure our customers' success. We firmly believe that the measure of any person or company is how they treat other people and customers. Give them a call at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com.
With Lee Company technology, the best handymen are hands-off. Lee Company techs have been using visual findings and other smart technology tools for years to add transparency and virtually take customers along. You see what we see, whether we're in a crawl space or on a roof. With Lee Company, technology helps us help you, no matter what's happening in the world or at your house.
You can't see the sights without the sounds. From the crack of the bat to the roar of the crowd and everything in between, discover what Hit City has to offer. Spend your nights cheering on the Nashville Sounds at First Horizon Park with giveaways, fireworks shows, theme weekends, and more. Single game tickets are on sale now. Visit NashvilleSounds.com to claim your seat today.
Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Murray County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic service, and our Ortho Quick Walk-In Clinic lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net.
They're trying to save as possible.
This is Chris Yow with Main Street Sports Today. Every show, Mo Patton and I welcome friends from all across the sports landscape, from high school coaches and reporters to national, college, and pro sports personalities. You never know who might stop by for a chat. She's on Thinking Out Loud, presented by Regions, and Out of Pocket with Alyssa Lang. It is, in fact, Alyssa Lang.
I'm a little nervous. I'm going to lower the bar for guests now.
Oh, no.
Like, apologies in advance. It sounds like
SEC Commissioner Greg Sankey.
You got that radio voice.
I do.
It's a good sound.
Thanks for radio too.
As do we.
And then here's the other thing. You guys, you're spot on with the name. Everybody wants to be on Main Street. Everybody wants to be on Main Street. So,
And we reach every main street in Middle Tennessee, Coach.
yeah, that's it. So
Perfect.
when you are on Main Street and you are moving
You got to love it.
like you're moving, I was impressed.
Hockey in Music City just hits different. It's one big honky-tonk party. It's the sea of gold in the crowd, the goals, the saves, the celebrations. It's an experience like no other. Experience Predators hockey all season long. Visit NashvillePredators.com/season tickets and join the Loyal Legion today. That's NashvillePredators.com/tickets, and we'll see you at Bridgestone Arena.
I'm watching Booster out here too. He's doing a photo shoot.
Looking now at downtown at Nashville, and
Is Booster on the screen?
he is doing his photo shoot right now. An absolute unit, as Justin would say.
Booster doing a photo shoot is beyond my level of comprehension.
Hey,
He's got several support staff out there too. It's not just one or two. I mean, it's a full blown operation out there for Booster.
Booster needs a support staff.
I don't know. Have either of you guys ever been inside one of those as a
No.
mascot? costume?
A long time ago.
I will tell you, before there was Booster, there was Ozzy, the unidentified cat, who was the Sounds mascot, and that outfit stank to high heaven.
That's interesting.
I guess it was just wearing it in Nashville baseball season weather for numerous years. It probably should have been replaced long before it was, but it was awful. Awful.
Well, as a
Awful.
teenager, I was fortunate enough to be Ernie the Eagle for Eagle Claw
Okay.
during the Bassmaster Classic and a couple other events.
Fortunate enough?
Oh, I
Or-
loved it. It was fun. I really, I was 17 years old, so I was having a good time, and I got to play with the kids. And I'm a kid person. I love to be around kids and
But did the kids love to be around Ernie the Eagle?
I mean, I think so. I got a chance to. I finished second in the Fujifilm trout fishing contest to the Fujifilm guy. Surprise! I think they were
Go figure out.
How about that?
I think they were padding the numbers,
what-
but I don't know. I wasn't.
I
keeping count.
wonder why. Huh? Yeah.
but it was also Louis the Lightning Bug, which was the Alabama Powers logo.
Louis the Lightning
Wow.
Bug.
Louis the Lightning Bug, and I was in a couple Christmas parades.
If I'm not mistaken, there is a picture of you on wearing the costume, right? Didn't we talk about it one time
Oh,
on
yeah,
Mornings on
there's-
Main Street? It's out there. In
There
the
are
ether.
pictures out there.
I saw a line about lightning bugs that was attributed to former MTSU football coach Boots Donnelly, that they think they're lighting up the world and all they're doing is showing their ass,
It's very true.
which is very
Oh,
Coach Donnelly-esque.
yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like we've got Coach JAMAAL Stewart on the line, so he'll join us now on Coach's Corner, presented by From the Heart Cafe out in Chapel Hill. Go see Renee Hart and the fine folks out there. Again, Chapel Hill, it's a little bit of a drive, but it's worth it, whether it's breakfast, dinner, lunch, catering. They've got everything that you could possibly want or need out in Chapel Hill at From the Heart Cafe, proud sponsors of Coach's Corner. And we have newly minted Centennial coach JAMAAL Stewart with us here.
Now I gotta ask, Coach Stewart, I see you sporting the new swag, but I also spy a red stripe behind you, and I've spent a total of about 8 years in Centennial High School for one reason or another. I don't know that there's any red anywhere about that building. Where are you?
Well, for the transition, I still have to do 30 days of East Nashville. So, I support it on the interview, but I don't wear it around the school. But
okay, I was wondering about that. That wasn't what you wore to school today, then.
No, I would never do the kids like that. So.
Okay, all right,
Just for the interview.
Well, good. Well, we appreciate you taking some time and changing your wardrobe for us. And hey, as I said on your Facebook last week or earlier this week, welcome to Cool Springs. Like I said, I'm a Centennial parent ×2, so it on a personal level, it means a lot to me to see you coming out and being about to walk the sidelines down there. But you're a Metro kid, man. I mean, literally a Metro kid. You graduated from Metro Nashville. You've spent your entire coaching career in Metro Nashville. Obviously, the success that you've had at East Nashville. What prompts JAMAAL Stewart to look at this position?
You're right. Went to Stratford High School 4 years, and then I've been coaching in Metro for 13. So I've been around for 17 years in Metro. It built me up, taught me a lot of life lessons, and prepared me to be the man I am today. But just a different opportunity, different level of caliber of football, 5A, 6A area. The county really takes it serious. I've talked to the county AD, and he's ecstatic about the situation and me joining the county and just the admin and the community. I really looked into it as like playing against them, coaching against Centennial. I was always intrigued about the school. Several athletes, NFL players, Division I football players. So I was always intrigued about it. And then just seeing who the admin was, it kind of made me, put my eye on a little bit. And I met the basketball coach at a fireworks stand last summer. It's crazy that's how it happened. Me and Jeremy talked for about an hour, and it was raining. So it had to be a good conversation. But he had a fireworks stand. We were just talking for a while, and I really liked the vibe. And he cares about kids, and he was explaining his journey. And he was just talking about the school, and I was like, "That's crazy, man. I really think that's a good school." And he had high praises for Coach K and everything like that. And it's just crazy how the world turned into this situation.
Now, when it came about, how did you make contact with with administration, Kevin Dyson and that bunch? Did you apply? Did you call ahead?
So
did they reach out? How did that work?
A lot of people was like reaching out to me, asking me was I interested, and I said, there's nothing wrong with a conversation, just to talk about it. And like I said, me and Jeremy talked and things like that. And then he was like, "Hey, if you're interested, who would like to have you come in and talk about it or whatever." So I did have to submit something, but like I said, it was several people reach out to me in the community and was like, "Hey, would you be willing to make a change and come to this side of town?" And I said, like I said, it wasn't nothing wrong with the conversation, and the conversation turned into a job opportunity. So it's basically how it happened.
Now, Coach, you just mentioned, obviously the move up in competition. Centennial actually moving down in competition from the last couple of years, but this is a different this is a different world, man. You got to actually travel now to go to away games. So, you won't be quite as close by, but what is that, the different types of teams having to play, you're going into a completely different world as far as, what you've been used to.
Well, the community thing is different the most. They're very hands-on and active. East Nashville had some pretty good support as well, but it's just a different side when you get to Williamson County. But the thing about it, if you look at our schedule, East Nashville, we played a lot of 6A county schools and things like that. We played Green Hills, we played Independence. We try to put ourselves in those type of situations. But now I don't have to worry about it because every Friday night is going to be a battle, and you're going to be facing a team with the same kind of environment, same kind of community, same kind of support, same type of kids. So, I'm used to it already, but not used to their Friday night the way they come about. But basically, the opponent-wise, I think I'm okay with it. But every Friday night, you're going to strap your boots up. It's going to be a real good game, and it's going to be a tough crowd on either side.
New Centennial football coach JAMAAL Stewart joining us here on Coach's Corner, presented by From the Heart Cafe over in Chapel Hill. Coach, as you mentioned, as Chris mentioned, headed for in this first year of the new classification period, you'll be in 6-5A with, Metro schools, Glencliff and Hillsborough, and former Hillwood, now James Lawson, along with Nolensville and Page. Page, sort of like East Nashville, two-time state championship game appearances. Nolensville went undefeated until they lost to Page in the state quarterfinals this past year. That's no slouch of a region.
No, it's not at all. I mean, there's high quality coaching over there. We scrimmage East Nashville scrimmages Nolensville every year. So I know Coach Derek's going to do a good job preparing his kids. They're going to be sound, disciplined. They're going to put you in some good matchup situations for them and things like that. And same thing with Coach Rathbone at Page. Kids buy into the system. They know the system. They're going to do exactly what they're supposed to do. They're going to exploit your weaknesses. They get the ball out in different kind of ways, things like that. So those two teams are going to be really, really tough. And then, we got Lawson, who just hired Brian Lilly, who's a good friend of mine and a great coach. So I expect them to turn it around pretty soon. They have great admin over there, so they kind of get it. So they're gonna turn the page. And then of course Anthony Brown at Hillsborough, good friend of mine. He knows me about like the back of his hand, as do I for him. So it's gonna be Friday night. It's gonna be no nights off. I mean, you're really going to have to play. So like I said, this is a tough region, but I love this type of situation. I love when you have to prepare and you got to go in here. You got to battle, get your kids battle tested. So I know it's not gonna be a walk in the park, but at the end of the day, when you succeed and do what you're supposed to do, and win these type of games, they prepare you for the last 5 games.
You know a little bit about those last 5 games, having played in them the last 2 years. You said you still have to finish up 30 days at East Nashville, and I don't know if you're actually counting days or not, but I mean, do you intend to get into the building at Centennial before the end of the school year, or what does your next few weeks look like in terms of spring practice and that kind of thing?
So basically, I won't get to start until April 24th, which is that Monday, and I think that's when we have scheduled to start spring practice. I go up there.
Works out.
I think we go out there. We actually go out. I go up there like 2 or 3 times a week, just to be around campus and see the guys and support the other sports and things like that. And so, I mean, it's a requirement. If I leave before 30 days, I lose my tenure in Metro. I mean, that's in case I ever do come back, whatever the case may be. I just don't want to burn bridges. I don't like burning bridges. And so since that's been the requirement, that's what I got to do. And so paperwork's already done. Everything's clear. I'll be good to go April 24th, right on time. So I will finish the school year at Centennial.
Okay. All right. But you will be able to get out there for spring practice and get your eyes on the kids in pads and that kind of thing. What do you know about the personnel at Centennial right now? I mean, do you watch film? I like to ask coaches, do you like to watch kids under the previous regime, or do you even want any preconceived notions about those kids before you actually see them with your own eyes?
So, basically I'm a film guy. I watch film a lot, in season, out of season. So I kind of got a good grasp of who's coming back. They have really good skill players returning. I believe all of them returning in the wide receiver, running back spot. Quarterback just transferred from Columbia Academy. He's been there for a while. Got another young quarterback who's a sophomore. He's going to be a junior this year. They're going to compete for that spot. They lost their whole offensive line. That's the part you got to rebuild, at the end of the day. And I harp on that. Offensive line, defensive line wins games. So it doesn't matter how good your skill players are if you got to develop those guys first. So got some good defensive guys that's returning. So there's a nice, strong core there. So basically, you just got to get the big dogs, get the big dogs right and get them strong in the weight room, get them acclimated, get them physical, mentally and physically. So, get them mentally and physically tough. So that's what I like to do. That's why I hang my hat on. We're going to be physical. We're going to have a different type of mentality. We're going to get to the ball. We're going to be disciplined. We'll be strong, because the weight room is important to me. So, and the good thing about it is, got some guys that's still there that's going to stay on staff that's been working that's been keeping the morning workouts rolling. So they've been practicing 6 o'clock in the morning, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursdays. So, I mean, the guys are still working. Even without a head coach, there's 50 guys there right now. And other guys are in other sports too. So, I'm excited about that. It means they care about it. They take pride in it. So the train's still rolling. They just got to get the conductor there. So
I know Wade's got a question for you, and I'm going to yield to him, but I want to ask you, there's one defensive end in particular I think comes back, Keegan Scruggs. Are you familiar with that name yet?
Yes, that young man is a ball player. He has a motor. He's strong. He's quick off the ball. He knows how to play with his hands, So he has all the tangibles to be successful and play at the next level.
Coach, my question, you talked a little bit about, not burning those bridges, and kind of as you make this transition, I'm just curious, what are a few key highlights and takeaways and just memories that you're going to have from your tenure there at East Nashville? Done a fantastic job, obviously.
Oh, man, it's a lot. It's really a lot. It's still, heartbreaking sometimes, but I understand I didn't make this move for the best thing for my family and career, and for me to take it to the next level. So the guys kind of understand, but I'm gonna tell you right now, there's a lot of crying when I had to make that announcement. My coaching staff, myself, the players, cheerleaders, band members, just general students. When you come here, you make an impact on just all kids, not just the football kids, and the kids love me here, and most of them understand. They understand what it is. At the end of the day, you set a goal, you got to go get it. And, just building this program up. I mean, they always were talented, but I got to coach with some of my best friends. 5 of these guys either I went to school with at college, at Cumberland, or high school, or just good friends that I grew up with. My baseball coach, Terrence Love, he's been my friend since 7 years old. He helped me. Chris Simpson, who's now the D coordinator at the head coach of Maplewood, he's been my friend since 5, 6 years old. So, just coaching with our guy, my friends, and just building something special. Pride back at East Nashville. I go to the grocery store or anything like that. People know who you are, and they talk about good job, and we appreciate it. Just changing the culture, man. I mean, it's a cool feeling to know you impacted your community 20 years later from when you was a kid, and just the excitement in the kids' eyes, and I told them at the end of the day, they can come back to the school and they'll see their picture on the wall, and they can tell their kids and their grandkids what they done for their school. So those are the things that I'm going to miss, but I enjoy it, and I'm going to forever have those in my heart, So, I mean, I never forget about it. It's always going to be near and dear to me. A lot of great memories, and just got to move forward to the next journey.
Well, I can tell you two things. One, we got a Kroger's in Cool Springs as well, Coach. But and hopefully those encounters that you have will be pleasant ones. But I wanted to ask you, you mentioned Chris. You guys were together over at Cumberland. Like you said, I'm sure you knew each other from when he was at Maplewood and you were at Stratford. Him going back home to take the head coaching job there, you leaving, it kind of feels like the band is breaking up a little bit. I mean, did that make this decision a little bit easier for you?
And that's the thing. Ideally, the ideal was maybe Sim got this job, but he was already in the works of going to Maplewood, and that's just a transition that you can't wait on that type of opportunity. It's another school's giving you opportunity. But basically, that you said the exact words we said. We sat in here in our coach's office one day, and like I said, Josh Southall, my offensive line coach, played at Cumberland. Jordan Smith, my wide receiver coach. Ladarius Banks, who's going back to JP2. Coach Wilson, he's retiring, doing some other opportunities. Coach Love is still here coaching baseball. Our whole staff. It's like you said, the band was literally breaking up. Everybody was doing something else, and at the end of the day, as a head coach, that's what you want. You want them guys to go get what they want out of their life and their dreams and things like that. So sometimes you feel like when you lose a coach, you're doing a good job because that means somebody else wants them. And we're all the same age. We're like 34, 35-ish, in that range, 30, 33-ish. So, other guys are taking opportunities, which is okay, because that's their dreams and aspirations and goals and things like that. And so Coach Southall and Coach Smith is going to join me at Centennial. So, I mean, we'll still be together, but, you know, just neighborhood rivalry guys on one staff. You had Pearlcombe, Maplewood, East, Stratford. You know, you had a group of guys, all Metro guys on the same staff working together to build up a Metro school, and it was special. And, you know, like I said, a couple of those guys are going to go with me. A couple of guys are going to Maplewood. A couple of guys are doing other things in their career and their life. So the band did break up. We're still good friends. But, you know, like I said, the show must go on.
Well, I'm sure we can look forward to that Maplewood Centennial scrimmage here at some point. But be sure and let us know when that gets scheduled, because I know y'all will. But
hey, let me say this on air. Coach Simpson doesn't want that, guys. Listen,
okay.
listen,
I guess we know who our next coach's corner is.
Hey,
Yeah.
listen, I wanted to say that because, guys, you got to understand, me and Coach Simpson been best friends since 5 years old. So it doesn't matter. We're always in competition. First one to run into the store.
Yep.
First one that does something. We're going to compete. Our whole life we've been competing, but I just really want to say this so you can see that. Really, to be honest.
We'll be sure he does, Coach. JAMAAL Stewart, new football coach at Centennial, joining us here on Coach's Corner, presented by From the Heart Cafe over in Chapel Hill. Coach, appreciate your time and look forward to seeing you soon.
I appreciate you guys for having me on. You guys have a great evening.
Thank you. You too.
Oh man, that's fantastic.
Like I said, I guess our next Coach's Corner will be with Chris Simpson.
Just making sure. Hey, yeah. Coach, I'm hearing things.
I'm hearing, yeah. What's this about you not wanting?
You don't want the smoke?
You don't want that smoke. Yeah, out of Cool Springs. Yeah, okay.
Oh man. Well, before we get out of here, we got to hand out some hardware, Mo. We got a little bit of that to get to. So let's go ahead and start with the End to Win Life Team of the Week, presented by Custom Stone Handlers, 931-490-4990 or CustomStonehandlers.com. They're proudly encouraging young people to get in the game.
Tough not to make our End to Win Life Team of the Week the Lady Bulldogs from a Columbia Academy, who won 3 games last week by a combined score of 45-0.
Woo! That's a pretty good week.
That's stout.
That's stout. They stoutened up last week.
Did they cover though?
I'm gonna be honest with you. The line was probably 50.
For entertainment purposes only. Yes. Yep. Yes. The Columbia Academy Lady Bulldogs softball team, our End to Win Life Team of the Week. Yeah.
And of course, our Athlete of the Week will stay in Columbia Academy, the MTBJ Athlete of the Week, Mo.
Yeah, as we said on Twitter yesterday, we do love our multi-sport athletes. Griffin Cooper, who you probably heard of on the hardwood, you may not have heard of in the high jump, but last week he went 6'6" in the first meet of the year for Columbia Academy. 6'6". Now, to put that in context, he won the Division IIA state championship last spring at the end of the season with 6'5".
He's only getting better.
He's only getting better.
Boom. So I'll certainly be interested to see where he is by spring fling, which I feel quite confident he'll be there. So
wow.
Yeah, announcing his presence with authority this past week with that school record, 6'6".
Yeah, so. He's just going to keep breaking that for a while. I got a feeling.
Yeah, I don't think I would etch that in anything anytime soon. Yeah, so Griffin Cooper, our Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint Athlete of the Week. So congratulations to him.
All right, we take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk about apparently there are some rumors around Will Levis and his interviews pre-draft. So I'm interested to talk about that. And also we have with us, we have the minor league baseball memorandum from Major League Baseball about new rules in minor league baseball. So we'll get you set up because Rick Sweet's going to join us at 3:00. So we'll get you set up for that with the new rules and what we're going to talk to him a little bit about. All of that and more in the Lee Company studio on Main Street Sports Day, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Stick with us.
Hockey in Music City just hits different. It's one big honky-tonk party. It's the sea of gold in the crowd, the goals, the saves, the celebrations. It's an experience like no other. Experience Predators hockey all season long. Visit NashvillePredators.com/season tickets and join the Loyal Legion today. That's NashvillePredators.com/tickets. And we'll see you at Bridgestone Arena.
Walmart Supply Chain is hiring in Lebanon. Earn up to $22.25 an hour when you join our new fulfillment center. Enjoy competitive pay and premium perks, including 100% paid college tuition, 401k match, flexible schedules, a free Walmart Plus membership that includes discounts, and free Paramount Plus, paid time off, and so much more. Fulfilling work starts right here. Text JOIN to 240-240. That's JOIN 240-240 to apply now.
You've been putting back a few, and a few becomes a few too many. For a moment, you think about calling for a ride. Nah, you live nearby. What's the worst that can happen? You get pulled over, your insurance goes up, you lose your license, you total your car, you kill someone.
Welcome back into Main Street Sports Day, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint in the Mobile Lee Company studio. We have Mo Patton, Chris Yow, and special guest host with no
pennant. Sorry, Wade.
You got to earn your stripes, I guess.
Earn the pennants around here.
That's it.
You don't just get pennants.
Pennants are earned.
That's right.
That's it. I'm okay with that.
At every level.
Yeah.
So we just watched the Nashville Sounds team take their team picture, and we have in front of us there's not going to be an official roster, but I'm not sure how you take an official picture without an official roster.
Maybe it's not an official picture.
Hey guys,
picture subject to change.
Yeah.
Hello. Hey, maybe they're going to Photoshop guys in and out.
There you go. So that may be it. All right. Well, it looks like Coach Sweet is actually here.
It's not Coach Sweet. It's Rick. He's the manager.
That's right. He does.
Yeah. So
and
we're going to pull a quick change-a-roo here.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah. Can you give us until just a couple minutes? 3 to 5? All right.
No.
We're going to do 3 to 5 here. And just basically just so we can set this up, because there are new rules, and that's one of the things we want to talk about a little bit. New rules in minor league baseball. We believe that at some point in the near future, there will be a automatic ball strike system implemented. Apparently it was utilized in the
AAA,
Las Vegas AAA Final Four tournament. So that's interesting.
Okay, so according to what I'm looking at here, in the Pacific Coast League, use of full ABS will begin on opening day.
Okay.
With ABS challenge games starting on April 7th. Apparently, full ABS will be used in the first 3 games. ABS challenge will be used in the remaining 3 games of the 6-game series. In full ABS games, the ABS system will have the exclusive mechanism of calling balls and strikes. In ABS challenge games, players will have the ability to appeal the umpire's ball strike call to the ABS system. So you're going to have umpires in the Friday, Saturday, Sunday games of each series. And a player can challenge a ball strike call. In the first 3 games, it'll be full ABS, no challenge.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, again, that starts on opening day in the PCL. In the International League, I don't think that starts. Okay. In the International League, where ABS-related infrastructure was installed in 19 of the 20 ballparks this past offseason, use of the system will begin on Tuesday, April 24th. And then it will be the same as the PCL. But for the first 3 weeks, I guess it's just umpires only.
Well, God forbid.
Good old-fashioned umpire.
Yeah,
Good old-fashioned umpire.
The nerve. Oh man, how will we get by?
How will we survive?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's interesting enough. And the AAA has also, or at least AAA has also implemented a new playoff system. We'll talk about that a little bit. The playoff system is weird. There's a 3-game series at the end of the year now to see who goes to Las Vegas. But on top of that, the Sounds have several guys coming back this year. We'll talk about, including Ethan Small, who was, obviously a big part of that win or that season that they had last year, winning the International League regular season title.
Who was IL Pitcher of the Month to open the season last year.
So should be a lot of fun, and I'm definitely looking forward to talking with Rick here in just a few moments. It's always a pleasure to get him into the show. And is there what else is in there? I haven't had a chance to read the memo. So
pitch timers,
of course.
Yeah,
of course. They used the pitch clock last year.
Yeah, so it's back. Bigger bases.
Also, I think used last year. Not entirely sure.
I'm not sure.
Restrictions on the
infield positioning. No more shifting, I guess.
I'll be curious. I want to ask him how much shifting
they did.
Yeah.
Enhanced grip baseballs.
Okay.
Are
we
an
okay
alternate
with enhanced grip?
I'm not.
They began working in 2021 to develop an alternative to the Delaware River mud currently applied to the baseball. So they've been working on an alternative for the Delaware River mud.
It's
which I'm sure you're familiar with.
I am, actually, because I read a story about this. The same guy has been like mudding the baseballs for like 40 years. Like that's his whole thing. Now, obviously, he's probably tired of mudding baseballs, so maybe they're just like maybe his kids don't want to rub baseballs their whole life. I don't know, but I did read a story about that in like Sports Illustrated or something.
Yeah.
So I am in fact familiar with the Delaware River mud.
Dad, do we have to keep doing this? I mean,
just
one more season. I'm gonna hang it up, guys. Come on, man. We got minor leagues to get ready for.
My nails are killing me.
Yeah. So we'll get into all of that with Rick here in just a moment. So we'll take a break. Justin, send us to a break so we can get set up for that. And when we come back, Rick Sweet, manager of the Nashville Sounds, joins us on Main Street Sports today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net.
With Lee Company technology, the best handymen are hands-off. Lee Company techs have been using visual findings and other smart technology tools for years to add transparency and virtually take customers along. You see what we see, whether we're in a crawl space or on a roof. With Lee Company, technology helps us help you, no matter what's happening in the world or at your house.
Jones & Lang Sporting Goods here in Columbia has been outfitting teams, officials, and anybody else from T-ball to college for 50-plus years. Be sure and check them out at 931-388-8060 or online at jonesandlang.com. Jones & Lang Sporting Goods, the look of a winner.
Zion Christian Academy, zioneagles.org or 931-388-5731. You can schedule your appointment. Go tour their campus. It is beautiful over there, and you're definitely going to want to see it. Again, it's zioneagles.org. Give them a call, 931-388-5731, and schedule your tour today.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Tennessee. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the TSSAA.
You can't see the sights without the sounds. From the crack of the bat to the roar of the crowd and everything in between, discover what Hit City has to offer. Spend your nights cheering on the Nashville Sounds at First Horizon Park with giveaways, fireworks shows, theme weekends, and more. Single game tickets are on sale now. Visit NashvilleSounds.com to claim your seat today.
Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Maury County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic service, and our Ortho Quick Walk-In Clinic lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtv.
There it is, the guitar scoreboard.
Can only mean one thing.
That's right, opening day around the corner for the Nashville Sounds here at First Horizon Park, as you are looking, or we're looking at the downtown skyline of Nashville, Tennessee. A beautiful sight here, and what a beautiful day. You see the chairs out there from the team picture that was just taking place, and we are excited to welcome into the Mobile Lee Company studio here at First Horizon Park, Nashville Sounds manager and 2022 manager of the year, Rick Sweet.
Hey, it's nice to be here. It's nice to be in a beautiful day we've got here. That's exciting.
Rick, is there a trophy that comes with that?
Yeah, I'm sure they'll send me something.
I was going to ask you why you didn't bring it with.
I would just take it around, just hauling it around all the time.
I'm sure they'll get around to it. You know, a lot going on in baseball, and you know, I'm not too worried about that. That's an honor that comes from the team. You know, it's from your players, and so yes, I have in the past, but right now I'm just thinking 23.
There we go. Well, tell us. You're a day removed from opening day. You guys have got Louisville coming in here for a short 3-game set this weekend, weather permitting. How familiar are you with who you're going to have on the field tomorrow night?
Yeah, for the most part, I know their names. I know their faces. Some of them, guys that have been here before, I know very well. The guys I don't know very well, the new guys coming in, we've got to get our relationship going. I've been spring training the last 2-3 weeks. Got to spend a lot of time, especially with the position players. Pitcher's always harder because you don't get to have that quality time with them. But very familiar with their past. A lot of them I've seen pitch against us, but enough to know we're building that team camaraderie. We're getting it going right now.
I was going to ask you that, how much time do you get with them at spring training? So that makes it a little bit easier, I'm sure, but it is such a quick turnaround. And we talk about it in minor league sports in general. It's really interesting how quickly you guys have to get these guys acclimated. And last year you did a great job, obviously, looking to duplicate the success of last year.
Oh, we want to do better. We need one more game, one more game. But that being said, we've the thing about baseball is it's such a big community. We know about them. They know more about me than I know about them, and that's what's important. They need to know that they can trust me, that they can come in, be themselves, play their game, not worry about me, coming in heavy over the backside. And they're older. Most of them, they've been in a game a few years, and they have their expectations, and they know I have their expectations in my mind. So, I don't worry about that too much. It's nice. All this gray hair I have, and I'm glad I have hair. All this gray hair, I don't want to offend anybody, but they know more about me. They go out and call guys they know that have played for me, been with me, and so we'll pick it up. It'll happen fast.
Rick Sweet, manager of the Nashville Sounds, joining us here on Main Street Sports today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. As we said, Sounds open their season with a 3-game series here at First Horizon Park starting tomorrow night against Louisville. Rick, you guys got off to a great start last year. Chris said you want to duplicate last season. You said you want to better it. But, what is the key as you look at who you're going to have? What do you feel like this team is going to be built around in the early going?
I think it's going to be built around some veteran guys that know how to play the game the right way. We're going to establish what kind of game we're going to have. We're going to be aggressive. We're always aggressive. We led the league in stolen bases last year. I had 5 or 6 guys that had career years with stolen bases. And, I look at Ned Yost. He's already preparing how we're going to run the bases, making sure guys are on top of it. We swing the bats. We're aggressive. Al LaBeouf, Buffy does a great job of making sure we get guys to put the ball in play. That's a big thing in baseball. It's changing. All this swing and miss stuff. People are getting tired of it, and we've been tired of it for a few years. So we've been working at it here in Nashville for a few years. And, Jeremy Accardo is one of the best, if not the best pitching coach I've ever worked with. I don't worry about the pitchers. He's got them together. He's assured me that he likes what he sees, and that's good enough for me. If he says he likes it, I like it. So we look at all areas. I'm very pleased with where we're at. We've got speed. We've got power. We've got veteran. We've got some young guys, Weimer and Freelick, that came up, got a taste last year and almost made the big league club. So we're excited to get rolling and see just where everybody's going to fit.
Freelick played in the World Baseball Classic for Italy. Did that give him any kind of a advantage once he came back to spring training and as he comes into the season?
Well, and I know where you're going with that. I think probably yes, because he's already motivated into high intensity game situations. And he hasn't had time to back off. We worry more about guys having that and then having 2 weeks off because they got beat out early and maybe trying to get themselves motivated again. But you never have to worry about Freelick. He's a hockey player. He's motivated all the time. If anything, I try to calm him down.
Those guys can be rough.
Oh,
you mentioned that you're not too concerned with pitchers, but obviously, and where guys fit in, Ethan Small was a big part of last year, pitcher of the year or pitcher of the month in April last year. Kind of moved to the bullpen and kind of finding his spot where he's going to be maybe with the big league club. Is that something you guys are really focusing on, is how to prepare them for what they're going to do at the next level?
Yeah. And one thing you bring up a great point. Our job here in AAA is to get guys ready for the big leagues. Now, winning is a side part of that. Everybody likes to win. The American way is to win. We don't keep score. We don't have a beautiful scoreboard out there for no reason at all.
Right.
That's what we're here to do. That being said, my job is to put guys in positions to be successful so they can get to the big leagues. And with Ethan Small, we have done that. He's not starting. He's coming out of the bullpen. Better velocity makes his off speed even better. We expect big things from him. I think this is going to be a big year for him. Now that he got a taste of it last year, he's prepared for it. He's coming in, I think, with a little chip on his shoulder to get himself back where he was as a starter in our thoughts coming back. And that struggled a little bit, but now this bullpen, I think he's taken it to heart.
And that's huge. I mean, you have to have guys who are willing to kind of be malleable once they get here.
They need to buy in. They need to, and a lot of that is how we approach them with it. Do we bang them over the head, or do we say, hey, we got an idea, we think this really is going to help you, and we let them become part of the process. I think that's where today's game's changed over 20 years ago when we just told guys what we wanted. Now we put them in the process. They're part of the process. They're involved in the process because ultimately it's their career.
Now, I want to.
You laugh.
I get that. I mean, and that's an approach that you hear people talk about old school and that kind of thing. And we are of a certain age, Rick, that old school isn't necessarily an insult. But I mean, there are other ways to do things.
Well, I think with today's kids, I mean, this is my 49th year in the game, so I came up with guys like Raleigh Fingers, Gene Tennis, Dave Winfield. I mean, that's who I played with. I came up with them. And you look at today's players, take a Weimer, Freelick, and put them in the same category as those guys I talked about. Totally different animal. And I'm not saying good, bad, just different. And you have to have a different approach. They wouldn't keep me around if I hadn't adjusted to what's best, how to best communicate with my players. And there are some players that you can get in their face, like old time managers, Billy Martin and Earl Weaver used to do, Dick Williams, old time managers like that. That doesn't work today. Now it does work with some guys, but not most. You've got to put them in the process. It's actually harder. I call that the do it or else era, where you did it or else. Well, guys don't ask about what do you mean or else. You tell a player to do something today and you say do it or else. He goes, oh, tell me about the or else.
What's the or else?
Yeah.
How
I may
bad
want
is
to
this
do
going to
that.
be?
Yeah. or I don't want to do it, and then what are you going to do? I mean, you got a prospect and he doesn't want to do something. He's got to play.
Yeah. If you're going to drop the or else on them, you better be ready for the or else.
No, I don't like that. No, I don't want to do it. You got to have a so it's just different. It's more involved. It's more time consuming. I used to be a very emotional manager. Do it right now. Let's have a meeting right now. Now I take a night, think about it. Okay, what's the best approach for this player? Not for me. I will adjust for the player. What's the best way to get through to him, to get him to understand that this is how the game's played and what's best for him and his career.
Another guy that I worked with in your position years ago, Trent Jewett.
Good friend of mine. I know Trent.
Well, he dropped one on me once. You don't coach everybody the same way. No. You coach everybody the way they deserve to be coached. And that was like, that's Kipling.
But then you got to know your players. Mm-hmm. I go back. I read John Wooden's book, and I hear Bill Walton talking about John Wooden and how he approached his players back in an era where, it was hard to deal with those players back then. And they all love him. They loved him because he had a certain approach. He had a certain way. And like you were saying about Trent, I treat all my players differently. I treat them the way I need to treat them to get through to them and get the most out of them. That means I adjust to them. Now, do they have to follow what I say? Yeah. If I tell them to do something, I want them to do it. But, how you talk to them is whether they're going to do it or not. And I think when we try to do things, we're trying to make these guys better. They believe it. They know I have their career at heart more so than my career. I'm 70 years old. My career's down on the backside.
You can take it to the house if you feel like it.
Anytime. But you know what? I love being here. This is so exciting for me. I called my wife a little while ago. She goes, "How you doing?" I said, "It's hectic, man. It's crazy all over. I'm in my element. I love it." And she just shakes her head at me. And it starts now. I had phone calls. I had a phone call from a player at 7:30 a.m. this morning. And I was bright-eyed and cherry-tailed and ready to go. Let's go. What do you need?
Now, when you say you called your wife, now, not to get personal, but does she come with you? Is she here in Nashville?
She's here in Nashville. Yeah, I spend 12 plus hours a day at the ballpark, but she has her career. She loves what she does. Also, she's a career lady in the airline business, and I've been career here, so it's pretty special for both of us. She knows when I say I love what I do, she loves what she does, and she always has. So it makes a difference. I've worked 49 years and never had to work a day in my life. I just have fun every day.
It's fantastic.
It is.
I want to. We just mentioned the new rules. We have this memo in front of us from Major League Baseball, and you guys have utilized the ABS system, the automatic ball strike system, last year during that Final Four game out in Las Vegas. It will be implemented early this year, but not from day one. How do you guys feel about it, managers and players?
I like now the ABS system. I like the challenge system part of it. To me, that's the way they're going to go. And the challenge system is what we did during the season last year. We only got a taste of it, but the taste was good. And I think that's what they're going to wind up going to. I don't think they'll go to the full ABS. I think they're going to go to the challenge system, which is what we're going to use here for half of the year. We're going to use half the year, and they're putting it together now where we use the full ABS, which okay, we'll see how that works. But the challenge system is fun, and I think the fans are going to love it. See, I think that's going to be a crowd pleaser.
How does it work? Do they show it up on the board?
Oh yeah, that's what they do.
Oh, that's great.
If there's a pitch called, if the umpire calls it a strike and the hitter doesn't think it's a strike, he immediately, I want to challenge it. And the umpire will step back, he'll point to the press box, and immediately on the scoreboard, every head in the stand is going to turn to the scoreboard and watch. And you know how they do in tennis, where you see the ball come in real slow in the exact spot? The ball's going to come in real slow. They're going to have a strike zone up there, and it's going to tell you immediately strike or ball. And you get 3 of those a game. So if you use one and you're correct, the umpire's right, you keep it. If you're incorrect, then you lose it. You're down to 2. The only people that can call it, and this is the key, are the pitcher, catcher, and hitter. Only 3 that can call it. And
so you can't call it.
No, we don't have time because we know what it is in the dugout. We know because the system is set up that way. We know whether it was a strike or a ball. We can find out.
So how do you feel about the possibility of one of your guys calling for a challenge when you know they're wrong?
It's but the thing is, when we did it last year, all of a sudden the guys that were complaining all the time, they weren't challenging it because I don't want to be that guy. We never lost all 3 of our challenges. Now we only had about 10 games with it, but we never lost all 3 of our challenges. And we get late in the game. You want to have them late in the game when you need them, but we also don't want to finish the game and all of a sudden we got 2 challenges left we could have used at some point. We found, we were shocked. Very, very seldom was it not close. I mean, not within a quarter of an inch to the eyeballs. That's how close it was to being strikes or balls. So it's exciting. We had no problems with it. In fact, there were a couple times where the hitter took the pitch and it was called a strike and he wanted to challenge, and somebody from the dugout say, do it. Too late. The umpire, if he hears anything from the dugout and it's not instant, right now, they won't allow the challenge because you can get information from there. So it's got to be pretty quick, but it's actually exciting.
Wow.
We had a guy called last year at the end of the year. He very animated player. I love him. One of our favorite guys. Well, he thought the pitch was inside. He jumped way back and he goes, challenge. The umpire looked challenged. Ball's dang near in the middle of the plate for a strike. He was totally in, and everybody on both benches were cracking up. He goes, he just dropped. But it was funny because he was emotional and the emotions got the best of him and it wasn't even close.
Wow.
So it will happen, but not very often. Most of the guys are good with it and they like it. They like it. It keeps the game flowing because we find umpires are right a high percentage of the time. Their numbers, good numbers in the big leagues are 92, 95% of correct calls. That's not that's 5 out of 100 that maybe they missed, and the ones they missed are very close. They're not missing like it used to be in the old days when I played, where they'd miss balls this far because they were mad at the guy.
Yeah.
Oh, those weren't misses.
Can't do that.
You're exactly right.
Can't do that anymore.
Can't do
with
that.
The internet and all of the data that
you can't
is
do
collected.
anything like that anymore. So I like it. I think the ABS, the challenge system, is what's going to go to the big leagues. Remember, all the stuff they use in the big leagues been tested on us. We're the guinea pigs.
And that's one of the things I was going to ask you, because obviously the shift is being banned. Did you guys do much of that?
We shifted a ton. Okay. Yes, that's going to change the game. I like that rule. I think it's going to make our infielders more athletic, because now the really good infield, you heard Correa and guys like that saying, all right, now I get to show my skills again. Now I get to show how, because, we used to put them right where
the ball was going to be.
Where the ball was going to be. And it's going to be better for hitters. I thought hitters, I was wrong in the fact I thought hitters would adjust to it, hitting the ball the other way and beating the shift. Well, big power hitters, they're not paid to hit singles the opposite way. They're paid to hit the ball over the fence or to hit the ball in the gap, so they kept their swing. So it was easy to position and play against them. Now you can't do that. That shortstop can't go on the other side of the field. So I think we've already seen it, and I think that's what I think the batting average is going to go up. I think it's going to be good for the game. I like it.
Rick, explain to me how the bigger bases is going to have a positive impact.
It'll have a small effect. I don't think a big effect. I think it'll help with injuries. You won't get guys tangled up at first base, especially. It does put them 6 inches, closer to each base. And think of how many bang bang plays there are out there. There's a lot of close bang bang plays. So I think it will have a small effect. I think the throws to first are going to have the bigger effect on base stealing because the bases, are a little bit closer, but now they can't wear you out. They can't throw over, 3, 4, 5 times. They got to, keep that in reserve. So I think the bases are the smallest, will have the smallest effect on everything. But it's 6 inches still. That bang bang play at second or third on base, on steals, stuff like that are going to be different.
I'm looking forward to it. And I've got one more thing I want to ask you, and you may not be able to speak on this too much, but yesterday, Jeff Passan announced that it looks like minor league baseball and a collective bargain agreement will take place here pretty soon. Guys at the AAA level making $35,000 a year. Does that release their minds from being so focused on how am I going to make this work for some of these guys that are kind of older?
No, I don't think so. Most of the guys on my club, very few are making that, making the minimum. Most of them are, have been around. They're making more money.
Okay.
So I don't think it'll affect them that much. I think it will definitely for some of the guys, the younger guys that don't have that many years in. But I don't think it takes away from their game. I don't think the way the system was set up, I came up through the system. It's always been that way. We've already eliminated 40 teams,
Sure.
That was the big one for me. And if they need to, if they, they'll eliminate more. There's no profit in the minor leagues.
No.
You look at an owner and he's looking at, I spent $35 million on the minor leagues. What do I get out of it? Why don't we do what football and basketball does? Let the colleges, let the independent ball do it all for us. And we don't have to spend that $35 million with nothing coming back. So it's just another process in the game. The players have wanted to try to do this. It's been going on since I was a player. We didn't make any money, but you know what? If you don't like it, play better. That's what they always told us.
Ron Washington right there.
Yeah. So we went out and tried to play better, and a lot of opportunities have gone away now for baseball players. A lot of thousands of opportunities because of the elimination of all these teams. And this may eliminate even more. Although there's I did hear what caught my interest was they can't eliminate any teams for
10 years, I think.
I think it's 4 years, the extent of this contract, 4 or 5 years, whatever it is. But we'll see what happens then. But I think the independent ball, Major League Baseball, so they don't get mad at me, did do a good job with the independent leagues, making sure that they were up and running. And so a lot of the ball players that normally were with us, I've got guys call me all the time, Sweetie, anything available? They're playing independent ball around the baseball. And if they play well, we go get them because we've got limits on how they're going to drop the limit on how many players we can have now. I think 180 to 165, if you look at it, 165 barely gives us enough guys to fill our rosters with our teams. That means we have 2 or 3 injuries. We got to go to independent ball to get players. Somebody else is paying them. Somebody else is nurturing them, bringing them up, but they're available to us, and that's where we'll go.
There you go. Rick Sweet, manager of the Nashville Sounds, joining us here on Main Street Sports today. Thanks so much for being with us, man.
Excited to be here. It's a beautiful day out here.
Rick, we appreciate it.
All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, a few final shots from First Horizon Park. Main Street Sports today. Be back after this.
All right. Excellent.
Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net.
With Lee Company technology, the best handymen are hands-off. Lee Company techs have been using visual findings and other smart technology tools for years to add transparency and virtually take customers along. You see what we see, whether we're in a crawl space or on a roof. With Lee Company, technology helps us help you, no matter what's happening in the world or at your house.
Welcome back into Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Looking at the downtown skyline and the guitar scoreboard here at First Horizon Park. A couple of things to get to. Number one, Mo, for the first time in a while, the Braves are 1-0. How about that? 7-2, the win for Atlanta over the Nationals.
Yeah, 3 in the 9th.
That means, did AJ Minter get in? Hold on.
He may not have.
I bet he didn't.
With a 5-run lead.
With a 5-run lead. Let's see. Hold on. Let's see. Yes, he did. He pitched the 9th.
In a non-save situation.
In a non-save situation. Poor guy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's talk about one other thing baseball related. We have the Padres have announced their opening day roster.
Mm-hmm. And that's of interest to some folks locally, particularly down in southern Lawrence County.
In northern Alabama, basically.
Yeah. Because former Loretto High School star Ryan Weathers is on the Padres opening day roster. So congratulations to him. Looking forward to some big things. You know, ran into him a couple of times over the offseason, ran into David a few more times, and all indications are he had a great offseason, and apparently he took that into spring training out in Arizona and performed well enough to break camp with the big club. So looking forward to seeing what happens with him, obviously.
Yeah. Before we get out of here, we were going to talk about Will Levis. So real quick, is Will Levis actually bombing interviews, or are people saying he is hoping he drops? Because that's always the game, right?
It's that GMs do play that game, or teams do play that game of trying to, you know, kind of muddy the waters a little bit on a kid, just enough to where he comes to you. But, you know, I could see, I mean, the comments were that he was arrogant and aloof and that kind of thing. And I mean, when all you've heard for the last 2 years of how good you are, when really you're not.
So have you seen?
I could see that being the case.
Have y'all seen the pictures of him flexing at the combine
with the bicep tattoo?
So it just goes hand in hand with those comments.
Yeah.
Oh no, wouldn't be shocked.
I never thought he was. I don't want to say I never thought he was good. I never thought he was worthy of the consideration that he was getting to start with. So, you know, just for what that's worth. And I know you didn't either.
No, I did not, in fact. So, all right. Well, that's all the time we've got for today here at First Horizon Park. Again, Nashville Sounds Media Day, opening day tomorrow night. Get here. If you have to bring a poncho, because they're going to get it in, no matter what time they have to finish. But
or what time they have to start.
Start. That's right. So we appreciate you guys being with us. For Mo and Wade, I'm Chris Yow. Have a great day.